What's up, guys? I'm super excited about this episode because we're going to go over 20 awesome wins for eBay resellers. We're going to take 20 examples from our Facebook group of people who really crushed it and just go over them in this episode and give you guys an idea of what people are doing that's really working so that you can use those in your arsenal of weapons to be a successful reseller. Right now, you can see people are in this group talking about the best route through the thrift store. How do you make the best with your limited time? Some people only have half an hour to source a week. How do you get as much stuff as possible in that half an hour? If you guys want to join, it's at patreon.com/the resellers podcast. This is a paid group, but this episode is free, so let's get straight into the content. We appreciate your time. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Resellers Podcast with Tech and Sports and Daily Refinement. Today, we're going to go over 20 big wins for eBay resellers. We've been talking to a lot of resellers the last few months, and we want to compile some of the big wins for people and give you guys some inspiration to help improve your stores. So let's get straight into it. Sarah says that finding more efficiencies has given her more spare time. I think a lot of people don't realize sometimes you get better at your business and you have more time.
Yeah, 100%. Because back before I hired employees, it could have been an 18-hour job every single day before I really got everything streamlined to the point where I could hire employees and get help. And now that everything is really streamlined and really in order, everything is nice and perfect. We talk about it. I'm done at 4 o'clock or earlier and essentially have the weekends off. So if your processes are streamlined perfectly, it affords you a lot of freedom to either get more listings up or find something else to do or just spend the time with your family.
We want to give you guys like actionable things that people did and to actually improve their store. So we have Mike in the group who increased his listing habit from 80 to 100 a week to 225 to 250 a week. But you mentioned something that's a lot even more important
Yeah,
than that.
so he increased his sales from 5,500 per month to now 13,000 per month. So that's 2.5 times. And that's just something that we always preach is just do your listings consistently. And if you are able to increase your listings by finding more quality items and making more quality listings, like just continue to trust the process, because like me and you, we speak to a lot of people day in and day out, and not one person writes us to say, hey, I've doubled my listings and my sales are nothing. So like the proof is right there with him. He's doubled his listings and his business has 2.5 times the sales.
Yeah, and this is counterintuitive. He says more structure, less stress.
Absolutely. And I think a part of the less stress may come from the freedom that more sales offer you. It's kind of like a safety net. If you're selling $5,500 per month, everybody has the same bills. Everyone has the same cost of goods, more or less. But to 2.5 times your sales, the freedom of the additional money coming in every single week or every single month, it kind of lifts a weight off of your shoulders. And hopefully everyone gets to that point where they do feel a little more safe, a little more secure. Because for 5,500 after bills, after you pay yourself and all of that stuff, like there's not a whole lot of money left over. But at 13,000, that could be a game changer for a lot of people. And that could be way less stressful if you know everything is covered.
We always talk about trying to minimize your overhead. So imagine he probably reduced his expenses on top of that, because we've been talking about trying to cut back.
Absolutely. Or his expenses stayed the same, but his out has doubled, or his output has increased. So his expenses are a flat line that he was able to cover with 5,500 per month. Now his expenses are the same, and he's got 13,000 coming in. Like that's huge. That means
Huge.
he has 7,000 going straight to the bank every month. If he maintained the same lifestyle and same everything, he's got $7,000 going to the bank.
That's right. So this is going to lead us smoothly into PJ, who says that he started with $40 and he hasn't taken any profits out since listening to the podcast. And now he's finding better deals because he has more capital.
Yep. If you have buying power is a beautiful thing. We talk about it all the time. I'm able to secure my inventory from $3 to $5 each, because of the scale that I'm buying at. If I was buying onesies and twosies or 50 items per week, I can't get it for that cheap. So, you also buy a lot in scale. You go to the flea market, and when you go to the flea market, if you're buying at scale, they're more likely to give you a better deal. And like I said, if you're cherry picking, you're buying the ones, you're buying the twos, the seller has no incentive to give you a deal or give you a break.
Yeah, definitely. And it starts to get, some people get a little bit of a high from spending money. You can get the a high too, thinking about the investment. If you think about this $5 Starbucks that you're going to spend is really $50 in reseller profits. It's easier to stay home and make a cup of coffee for 10 cents or just drink water.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, if you do this business, you almost turn thrifty out of necessity. Like I can't remember the last time that me or anyone in the family like went to the store and bought something brand new. Like we all know there's deals. We all know that there's stuff secondhand market or like new. I know you talk how you bought the MacBook like new and saved hundreds of dollars by doing so, but not everyday ordinary people know that that option is out there.
Yeah, I think that's a really good. You also think about long term. MacBook is going to cost you more than a PC, but it might last 5 years longer.
Hmm.
You'll think about quality. You'll realize that a lot of people return stuff. The right now the MacBook Air is probably 1199, but it's 800 in the condition of returned. So if you go to Best Buy and you ask them for open box, it's like 30% cheaper, and it's the same thing. It's maybe a week old.
Yeah, because open box, they could literally take it to the parking lot and bring it back inside. And it's just like buying a new car and driving it off the lot. It
Mhm.
already decreased so much money off top. So, like with cars, especially with electronics, as soon as it's opened, it can still be brand new. But like you said, at minimum 30%.
This is important to realize too. If you buy a car, you buy open box, the warranty starts from the day you buy it. If you buy a brand new Toyota and it has 2,000 miles on it because it was a demo and it's a 40,000 mile warranty, you get it into 42,000 miles because Toyota honors it from the day you purchased it on a demo. So even that, buying something that the manager drove for a month saves you probably 20%, and you still get the warranty. So these kind of things happen when you're a reseller. If you were to flip two or three cars, you would learn that. But when you're reselling, you may stay in one category, but you still hear ideas from other people selling in different categories and learn, oh wow, you know, those do really well. And I think that's important for the community aspect. If you, especially if you are somebody that buys lots, auctions, storage units, you need to have a good community of people. You can't just, if you're buying those types of lots, you need to have a
I
community.
know when I bought my car, when I went there, I told them that I want something used but low mileage, and they looked at me like I was crazy. I was able to buy a car one model year earlier with 2,000 miles, and a grandma bought it and returned it because it was too big, and then she
Mhm.
got a Volkswagen Beetle, and I got that thing for a steal of a deal. And a 2,000 mile car is brand new. There's nothing wrong with the thing, and I saved so much off the sticker price.
It's crazy. And people pay so much. And as a reseller, you need to know it works the other way. When you're selling something that's brand new, never used, you can ask a premium.
Hmm.
And that's why new old stock, new vintage stuff is worth a premium because no one has ever worn it. It's still old,
Right.
but no one has worn it. It's still crispy. People love that. Being the first, they'll sell even a Toyota Camry, the most basic car, will sell for over retail the first five of them because people want to say that they were the first. And that's part of reselling too. You got to understand the sales cycles. So Megan says she's on day 6 of listing 25 a day and the sales are starting to build. She didn't realize that it happens that quick. So she started at 0, 6 days in a row of listing 25. She's already getting sales. So you can get sales right away. You don't have to wait a long time.
Yeah, most definitely. There's even someone in the group who's newer than that, that is listing something like 5 items per day, and they're selling one item every single day. I know they have 60
Mhm.
items listed right now, and they've already sold 6 or 7 items. So like that's an insane sell through rate. So they must have really high quality items, nice items. But like that's the only way to sell stuff is if you list it. So Like if you list 25 items per day for weeks or for months, or if you could do that for an entire year,
Hmm.
you would be shocked by the results.
Absolutely. So Bally says her sales have doubled on a completely dead store after just listing for 2 weeks. So this is cool because we hear that all the time. The store, or my store is dead. There's no more traffic. She fixed it in 2 weeks. It's already moving in the right momentum.
Absolutely. But again, it just takes the work. Like she had to work for 2 weeks. It's not easy to start that listing habit cold and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do every single day. So she's done it every single day. She's seen the results over the course of 2 weeks. Now it's up to her or up to whoever is doing that to continue to do it. Just like we say, you have to trust the process. If it's worked for 2 weeks, what are the results going to be after 2 months? What are the results going to be after 2 years? Like it begins to be scary, the results, if you can stay committed long term.
So we got to shout out Kendall. He says that he's asking himself the questions. We gave him the mindset of how can I get better? How can I do better? How can I get this done? And he is sort of floored by this concept of guaranteed money. It's not everything in life is guaranteed, but this is pretty close. If you list, results will come.
What more is guaranteed than walking into the thrift store, finding items that you think are cool, going into the corner and looking up every single one of them if you're unsure, and only buying the ones that are profitable? What is more guaranteed than that? Because everything that's not profitable or the margin is too close, you could just put it back on the racks. And I was talking to Kendall today, and he said that he knows he can do $250,000 per year. Like he knows he can do that. And he has everything set up to do it. The only thing that is stopping him is going to be him. If he doesn't do the work and if he doesn't list, then he's not going to do 250,000. If he does the work and if he does list, then there's nothing stopping him. He's already shown he can do it on the small scale. If he just continues to do it, there's nothing stopping him. The only thing that's going to stop him from not reaching that goal is him not putting in the work every single day.
And also, this is really important to understand. He's shown that it works on a smaller scale. You need to
Mm-hmm.
do that before you grow. If you don't have sales and for some reason you're listing and not getting sales, take a deep breath, l- reach out to people and say, "How come I'm listing every day and not getting sales?" That's unusual. That's really unusual.
Right. So Kendall, he's done what's called proof of concept. He knows he can do it on the small scale. So another lady reached out and said, she's been listing every single day. Her sales are flatline. So she's been doing it for a couple of weeks. So I looked at her store. The stuff that she's listing every single day is fabric and used books, which those are
Mm.
very, very difficult to sell. So if you list 10 of those per day exclusively for 2 weeks, you're not going to see a huge increase because used books on eBay and fabric are going to have a very, very low sell through rate. So, we talked a little bit, and I told her that to me there's nothing better than used clothing due to the abundance. And she's looking in TRP and she's starting to list clothing and whatnot. But you know, it has to be items that are in demand. It has to be quality items. And like I said, Kendall has the proof of concept. He just has to follow through and deliver to himself.
Absolutely. So Peter said, um, we always ask people when they say, what can I sell? Where do I find this? To ask them, ask yourself, where is the source of these items? Where are they currently being sold? And Peter said, so far, it has always led him to the supplier.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the closer you can get to the supplier, also the better deal you're going to get. You don't have to pay a bunch of middlemen to take a cut or for it to get watered down and then to cherry pick the best stuff and you get the leftovers. So finding the actual supplier or, as they say, finding the plug, like that's really, really going to help benefit your business and grow your business.
I have to shout out Patty in the group because this is so obvious and most people don't do this. She found a Asian grocery store. She went through the aisles and she was scanning. She found a vinegar that was selling for $17 and it was $2. So she's like, "Oh, I found one. How can I get more?" And I said, "What does it say on the vinegar?" And it literally said the distributor of the vinegar, she called them, and I can't believe how straightforward that is. She's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, can I order these?" And they're like, "Sure." Our cost to that grocery store is $1.70, which was crazy how low the margin is. They're buying it for $1.70 and selling it for two ten. But she ordered some, sent them to Amazon. I don't know if that vinegar is still profitable, but it said right on it where it comes from.
Yeah, and especially if you're trying to get to the source like that directly, they have phone numbers on it. They have PO boxes on it. Like there's not the only thing stopping somebody would be picking up the phone. I mean, you can send an email. Like there's a million and one things to do to contact a company or a supplier, but it's just about putting in work. And when you are playing that game of contacting suppliers, I mean, you probably know more than me. The door gets shut in your face probably 9 times out of 10, or no reply, or just simply no 9 times out of 10. So that is just a game of casting a wide net and seeing what you catch.
Hmm. So it says she didn't realize that even listing 3 to 15 items a day has given her big results. That's a lot. You're going from zero, even three a day, all year is 1,000 items.
Absolutely, man. And if they have an average sale price of $20, you put $20,000 in your store. Like that's not chump change. That's real money.
And you can do that during one episode of TV.
100% agree with that. 100% you can get 3 items up while you watch Friends.
I just saw I put one of my most popular Instagram posts was if you listed 3 items instead of watching TV, you could take any vacation you wanted instead of watching other people take vacation on TV. You could just literally that will pay for any vacation anywhere.
I mean, the thing about eBay is like it allows you to put your destiny in your own hands. Like you and I, we talk about it. eBay gives you, it puts out what you put in. So, like, if you put in a tremendous amount of effort, it's going to reward you with a tremendous amount of sales. If you put in a little teeny tiny bit of effort, you cannot expect eBay to reward you with any kind of massive payoff or anything worthwhile. So, like, I don't know any other business that is as simple as that. You put in the work, eBay will reward you. I've said it before, I've said it again. I can have all of my guys have the best uniforms, the best equipment, the best trucks, the best training. Everyone shows up on time. All the equipment is ready. And no customers might call the phone today to say they need their trees done or they need a tree taken down. Like I'm not in control of my destiny in that business. With eBay, I know if I list 250 items per day, I'm never going to have a day where eBay gives me no sales. It's not going to happen. It's impossible.
So Mauricio says, I'm no longer looking for home run limited edition items. I'm making more money selling common items at a smaller margin because they're easier to find.
That makes total sense to me.
I would love to sell only $500 items. It's just really hard to find them.
And also, how many $500 items are you going to sell per day? It's very difficult to make a $500 sale consistently. Very, very difficult.
And how painful is the return?
Yeah, painful, man.
Very painful.
Yeah, it's painful. So for like today, I normally don't do this, but one of the guys who works at my brick and mortar store, I guess he dabbled in being a DJ or whatnot. So he had like some sort of Pioneer mixer, and he wanted a couple bucks or whatever. So he asked me if I would sell it on eBay. I said I'll buy it from you and I'll sell it, but normally I don't want any of that stuff. I just want clothing. And it sold for like $711. I gave the guy $350. That was his price. I didn't negotiate. That's what he said he wanted. But if it was anybody else off the street, I would tell them that I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. And it took me 10 minutes to pack that thing, and like I have to cross my fingers to make sure this thing shows up in working condition. And if not, then I have a $711 return coming, and now this thing might be broken. I know with clothing, like a shirt doesn't break in the mail, and at worst you just get it back and sell it again. Like I love not having to worry about if this shirt is going to break or not, but I have no idea if this piece of DJ equipment is going to make it there safely. That's too stressful of the game for me, man.
Let's go with Fuzzy. This is a really cool one. He says, I'm making enough money now that taxes is a real conversation, but I'm no longer afraid of more taxes because I'm making more money.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone is blessed to pay $1 million in taxes this year. That would mean you made a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah, so it's more bills, more taxes, more overhead, more stuff coming in. It's scary, but it means you're doing well. It's a good problem to
I'll
have.
I'll tell you this: once you get, you know, like a real business and maybe even a physical location and things like that, I would say almost every single day I get something from somebody wanting some sort of money for some sort of license, some sort of inspection, some sort of something, man. Like it never ends with the bills when it comes to the business, but that's part of the game.
Thanks, guys. If you'd like to continue listening, you have to join at patreon.com/the Resars podcast. Our full length episodes are on Patreon without any ads, and all of our full length episodes, there are over 20 now in there, and access to our Facebook group are all available in there. Remember, we now have weekly coaching by Hustle at Home Mom on Thursdays, and we are adding Monica the Posh Hanger. We are also adding Jack Weaver as our Amazon specialist. So this is all coming up soon. We plan on adding new coaches as often as we can at no additional price for you guys. So join the group. We're going to get as many mentors as we can in here so we can help you guys get to that next level. And that's the whole point of our group, is to try to help people get to that next level. So we appreciate your time. Take care. We'll see you soon.